Hola ladies, good morning. It is about 8:30 this morning. Actually, the film you're going to see after this introduction, it wasn't about 8:30 this morning. Now it is roughly 10:30. I went on a walk, as you'll see I said in that video, but I just wanted to do an introduction since I didn't really say anything in the beginning of the other one. Just say good morning, and I hope you guys are having a good Saturday, and enjoy my update. Wow, I'm not used to holding this camera yet in front of me. Let me try something real quick. Ooh, don't go in, that's bad. Anyways, so it is 8:37 and I think I'm going to do just like a random vlog today just because I feel like it. I don't know why, but anywho, so I want to show you guys something. It's cycle day 14 today, and yesterday I got my very strong positive OPK. I started on cycle day 8, but as you can see, like cycle day 8 I did 4:30, which is about the normal time I do it because I get home around 4:30 from work. But then like the next couple days I did it like 4, 5, and 6, 4, 1:30. So I'm all over the place. So that's part of why it probably looks different. But cycle day 8, it was, you know, it was there. It definitely wasn't anywhere near positive, which is good because I don't ovulate that quickly. But then cycle day 9, 10, and 11 were like lighter than cycle day 8. But also, like I said, I took them later. Well, except for cycle day 11, I didn't take later. But in person, it's actually about the same as cycle day 8, to be honest. Then I had cycle day 12. Which it definitely got noticeably darker. And then cycle day 13, hello, like bang, it's just like, I did this at 1:30 too though, and this is at 4, so it could also be that 12 was really actually a little bit darker, but I just took it later in the day. Really, like cycle day 12, I was beginning to have like a little bit of cramping, which I've been experiencing, you know, before ovulation pretty regularly the last few months. But I was like, I'm just gonna test it. I was home, so I did, and it was really positive, which was crazy. I was like surprised that it was that dark because I haven't gotten one that dark since 2 cycles ago when I started OPKs. But last night was horrible, like horrible. I can't even explain to you. Well, those of you that are like have had kids, I know you probably have felt a pain much worse than me. I know that's true, but sometimes I've gotten cramps before ovulation or my period where, and I used to not know that that it was maybe related to my cycle until I started tracking my cycles and I realized things were happening like before ovulation and before AF came, but like so bad, like I would be like curled up in a ball like in my bed and it would hurt so bad, and then like I would use the restroom and it would be relieving. And I know that's TMI and I'm really sorry, but I'm sure I'm not the only person that's experienced that. But that's why I used to think it was like due to foods. Like I thought I ate something bad and I got really bad cramps, like maybe I'm lactose intolerant, maybe it's just like greasy foods. Like I wasn't really sure. But now that I've been tracking my, you know, my cycles, I'm noticing that it's been before AF, which that part's obvious. Like in the past I would know if it was before AF, but other times I'd be like, this isn't even near my cycle, like my period. Like that used to be all that I thought about was, you know, symptoms before my period. Now I've noticed, you know, it's before ovulation. And last night I got, you know, yesterday in the afternoon I had my really positive OPK, and then last night we ate dinner, and then and that's another thing. It was like it was right after I ate, but I don't know if it was just the timing or if it could have to do with food as well. I'm totally at loss. So if you guys know anything about this or experienced it, please let me know, because I'm like, my brain's turning and I'm freaking out, like worrying. Well, anyways, so I started getting cramps, and I was like, oh, and like my husband's never home when I get like these types of cramps. So and he's like, are you okay? And I'm like, no. I was like, you don't understand. Like this is what I go through on a monthly basis. Like it sucks. And he's like, okay. And then like each time I had one, he'd be like, should I be worried? I'm like, no, honey. I'm like, it's fine. Like this is just what happens, and it sucks, but that's what happens when you're a girl. And then we're getting ready to go to bed, and he was gonna take a shower, and I was like, okay, just let me use the restroom, you know, whatever. And I know, again, TMI, but hey, we're all women, or if you're a man watching this, whatever. But and like still, like this time I couldn't get any relief, and I was freaking out. And like I took my inhaler because like I was like not like I was having an asthma attack, but I was like, I could tell my breathing was starting to get a little bit off because I was like in pain and I was starting to feel concerned. And so finally, about an hour and 15 minutes after my cramps had been coming and going, and it was like really, really intense, I was able to finally use the restroom, and it was a little bit better. But then like right after that, it just started cramping and really, really contracting. Like I could just literally feel like my uterus was going like, and I was like, oh my gosh, like what is wrong with me? So then of course I started Googling it, right? Stupid idea. Because underneath it, it's like, oh, you know, ovulation pain can occur, blah, blah, blah. But if it's really intense, if it's interrupting your daily activities, if it's accompanied with dizziness, vomiting, diarrhea, etc., like tell your doctor right away. And I'm like, oh my God, like this happens to me every once in a while. But this last time was like one of the worst. One of the things was, of course, like, you know, contact your doctor. It could be a sign of like appendicitis. And I was like, I don't really think it's appendicitis because this has happened to me in the past, just not to this volume. But then there's like, oh, you know, it could be a sign of endometriosis. And I'm like, no, because like I've Googled that before, of course, you know, when you don't get pregnant, you Google like every possible infertility problem you could have. Now, I think it was around February of actually 2013. I've had these problems, but I did not connect them with being like part of my cycle. So I went to my doctor, you know, I was like this, that, and the other, and my doctor at the time was like, well, let's just, you know, do an ultrasound just to rule out anything, you know, going on in your uterus area, like your woman area. And I was like, okay, like whatever. Like at that time I wasn't excited about the ultrasound because I wasn't trying to TTC, so I wasn't seeing it as a way to like do anything you can to get an ultrasound to see if everything's okay down there. So I went and did that, and they found like a couple pockets that they didn't, but I was currently on AF at the time, so they weren't sure if it was just like some fluids or whatever. So they're like, okay, go back in 4 to 6 weeks and have another one done just to make sure it dissolved itself or it went away. I had another one done, and of course everything was gone. There wasn't anything in there that was concerning, which I was thankful of. I was like, that's great, I'm happy. I don't know, and last night was just like the worst ever. So I was concerned. I emailed my doctor. Anywho, this has been a long tangent of a freaking short, quick update. I might even clip some of it out, I'm not sure. But yeah, my hair is a hot mess, and I'm wearing my glasses. Obviously I always wear my glasses, but I just feel like my face is all disgusting, and I'm just in my, I'm gonna go on a walk before it gets too warm. I'll update you guys again shortly. Bye.